In South Korea, the national temperature record was broken 3 times. In the United States, nearly 100 major wildfires were raging simultaneously. Residents of Puerto Rico were left without water due to a record drought. In Ethiopia, a landslide struck hundreds of pilgrims. In Thailand, a football player suffered a fatal injury from a lightning strike during a match. We will cover the most notable events of the past week later in the program. United States.
La sequía continúa agravándose en Puerto Rico.
The island of Puerto Rico, located in the Caribbean Sea, has a tropical maritime climate. However, it is currently experiencing a severe drought that has led to a serious water supply crisis. After a record dry July, water reserves fell sharply, forcing the authorities to restrict water supplies. On August 7th, tens of thousands of residents of San Juan and 6 other municipalities were left without running water. In total, rationing affected more than 180,000 customers. Households and businesses were divided into 2 groups that will take turns going without water for at least 48 hours. Even under normal conditions, Puerto Rico's water supply system remains vulnerable. According to the Water Authority, around 65% of the water produced is either unpaid for or lost, mainly because of leaks and deteriorating pipes. This year, even before the current rationing was introduced, the San Juan area alone recorded at least 118 days with disruptions to the water supply. Water was often unavailable for entire days, and residents reported low water pressure. The drought has now made the situation worse. In San Juan, July 2026 was the driest month in more than 120 years of records, and the second hottest in the region's history.
According to the National Weather Service.
According to data from the U.S. Drought Monitor, severe and extreme drought covered around 36% of Puerto Rico, while another approximately 32% was experiencing moderate drought. The drought has also affected agriculture. In the southern parts of the island, restrictions on water supplies for irrigation have already been introduced. According to unofficial data, coffee production fell by 69%, while pepper and fruit harvests also declined. Due to water shortages, 2 major reservoirs had to be placed under special operating restrictions, and another 5 could face the same measures in the near future. The water shortage is affecting not only local residents, but also the tourism industry. Tourists are concerned about possible disruptions at hotels, restaurants, and other establishments, prompting some to cancel planned trips. This is particularly significant for Puerto Rico because tourism plays an important role in the region's economy. Thailand. A tragic event occurred in the city of Sungai Kolok in southern Thailand on August 4th. During a football match, a thunderstorm broke out with heavy rain and gusty winds. One of the lightning bolts struck directly on the football field. 12 people suffered injuries and burns, and the match was immediately stopped. Everything happened within seconds. According to those injured, after the strike they felt a powerful electric shock and numbness, and then fell to the ground. One of the football players lost consciousness, and his teammates, together with eyewitnesses, immediately provided assistance. He was urgently taken to hospital, but doctors were unable to save him. The incident once again demonstrates the danger of thunderstorms in open areas. With lightning activity increasing around the world, even the presence of taller objects nearby should not be regarded as reliable protection. Therefore, at the first signs of a thunderstorm, it is important to immediately stop outdoor activities and find safe shelter. Sri Lanka. In early August, torrential rains in Sri Lanka caused flash floods and landslides. The mountainous areas of Central Province and Sabaragamuwa Province were hit hardest. Landslides, large rocks, and collapsed power line poles blocked several major roads. In the city of Nawalapitia, the Mahaweli River overflowed its banks, flooding a tourist hotel. Residential areas were also affected, with more than 100 homes damaged. Around 3,500 people were forced to evacuate their homes and move to safe locations. Authorities in the affected areas decided to close schools. The floods claimed the lives of at least 2 people, while another 5 were killed in landslides that buried homes. Several people were injured. Ethiopia. On August 3rd, a major landslide struck the area around the Sadkene Mariam Monastery in Ethiopia's Amhara region. It happened at around 7 in the morning when hundreds of pilgrims had gathered in a prayer hall carved into the rock to perform a ritual. According to the local diocese of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, hundreds of people were on the monastery grounds, many of whom had traveled from far away. A huge mass of mud and rocks came down the mountainside, crashing into the prayer hall and the terraces where worshippers were gathered. The disaster claimed the lives of 14 people. Another 7 were injured, 5 of them seriously. The injured were taken to hospital. Search and rescue operations at the site were carried out by security personnel, medical workers, and local residents, with excavators also brought in to assist the operation. Even after the rescue operation was completed, the exact number of people missing, unfortunately, remained unknown. It is important to note that Ethiopia is currently in its rainy season, which lasts from June to September. Heavy rainfall was the most likely cause of the landslide. Wildfires. In the United States, the past week was one of the most severe of the current wildfire season. Major fires were burning simultaneously across a vast area of the western part of the country, from Washington state to California.
We know that we need continued help and support.
In Washington, 3 major wildfires approached Spokane, the state's second largest city, with a population of more than 230,000 people. The fire spread rapidly into residential areas, forcing people to leave their homes. A dementia care center, a veterans hospital campus, and a nursing home were urgently evacuated. In total, the fires destroyed or severely damaged more than 900 structures in Spokane and the surrounding areas. In neighboring Oregon, a major fire broke out in Mount Hood National Forest, considered one of the state's most popular mountain areas. In just a few days, the fire spread across 23,000 hectares. The flames approached important roads and tourist infrastructure. The State National Guard was deployed to help protect these facilities and fight the fire. Another major wildfire was also burning in Utah. Over the course of the week, it spread rapidly, and by August 9th, its area had reached nearly 45,000 hectares. The flames were approaching the small town of Fillmore, forcing some residents to evacuate. A tragedy occurred on August 7th. A firefighting helicopter crashed while battling the blaze, killing 2 pilots. Intense flames prevented rescuers from immediately reaching the crash site. The Gan fire in California, which started on August 3rd, also resulted in a fatality. The victim's body was found in one of the burned homes. Several new fires broke out in the state during those days. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, 98 large uncontained wildfires were still burning across the country as of August 10th. Overall, since the beginning of the year, the area burned in the United States has exceeded 2.5 million hectares. This is the highest figure in at least the past 10 years, and is more than 1.5 times the average. In neighboring Canada, the situation appears less dramatic. The area burned exceeds the average for the past 10 years by a less substantial margin. However, some wildfires are spreading at extreme speed, posing a serious threat to the population. One of them was a fire that started on August 7th in the Okanagan Valley area of British Columbia. Just 3 hours after it was detected, the fire had spread across approximately 5,000 hectares. And by the following night, its area had almost doubled, reaching 9.5 thousand hectares. The fire was so intense that, according to authorities, it began generating its own weather system, capable of producing lightning. According to one fire service official, the flames engulfed trees around 30 meters tall and rose tens of meters above them. The fire rapidly approached the towns of Summerland and Peachland, prompting authorities to begin evacuating entire areas. Residents were urged to leave the danger zone as quickly as possible because conditions could change within minutes. Huge traffic jams formed on the roads, and temporary shelters were overcrowded. More than 20,000 people were forced to leave their homes, while residents cut off by the fire were evacuated by helicopter.
Fuck me, man.
Unfortunately, an 80-year-old woman died during the evacuation. In the area around Summerland, the fire destroyed homes and other structures, and power outages began in the town. The government of British Columbia declared a state of emergency on August 8th. Extreme heat. Since late July, South Korea has been experiencing prolonged and extremely intense heat, and the national temperature record was broken several times within a short period.
Fans fell ill.
On August 2nd, in the city of Yangsan, South Gyeongsang Province, the air temperature reached 42.5 degrees Celsius, setting a new national record for the entire history of meteorological observations in the country.
Korea used to only see in
Even after sunset, temperatures in some areas remained above 30 degrees Celsius, while the number of so-called tropical nights, when the minimum temperature does not fall below 25 degrees Celsius, reached an abnormally high level. The lack of rainfall further complicated the situation. The water level in the Miryang Reservoir dropped to around 36%, while a year earlier at the same time it had exceeded 89%. By August 9th, the number of registered heat-related illnesses in South Korea had exceeded 3,300, while at least 30 people had died. Older people, agricultural workers, and those who spent long periods outdoors were at the greatest risk. Firefighters and local service workers sprayed roads with water and went door to door, checking residents for symptoms of overheating. In Jeokbang districts, neighborhoods with cramped, low-cost housing, some residents were temporarily relocated to air-conditioned facilities. In Incheon, during and after one professional baseball league game, 2 spectators lost consciousness from overheating. After that, all 10 games scheduled for August 5th and 6th were canceled and rescheduled for other dates. The heat also had a serious impact on agriculture. Extremely high temperatures killed more than 17,000 livestock and poultry, including chickens, ducks, and pigs. Around 160,000 fish also died at fish farms. In the first days of August, intense heat spread across much of China. It was particularly unusual for the northeastern parts of the country, where such high temperatures are recorded far less frequently than in the central and southern regions. By August 4th, the heat had caused a sharp increase in electricity consumption. According to the State Grid Corporation of China, demand on power systems reached historic highs. Record levels were recorded, in particular in Hebei Province, Tianjin, Liaoning Province, and Shandong Province. In Hefei, the capital of Anhui Province, peak electricity consumption exceeded 12.3 million kilowatts on August 4th. Over the course of the summer, this figure had already surpassed last year's peak level 11 times, while the seasonal record reached 13.4 million kilowatts, 8% above the previous maximum. Intense heat also persisted in Japan. On August 3rd, temperatures reached 40 degrees Celsius, or higher in 7 areas of the country, and by August 7th, daytime highs had exceeded 30 degrees Celsius at more than 80% of weather stations. This year, Japanese meteorologists introduced a new official term, kokushobi. For days with temperatures of 40 degrees Celsius or above, meaning extreme heat days. Animals also felt the effects of the abnormal heat. At Tokyo's Tamazu, the lions were taken off display after their condition worsened, and the special lion bus sightseeing service was suspended.
3 lions have died.
Some other enclosures were also closed to visitors, while the animals were given access to cool indoor areas.
Of climate change go beyond just high temperatures of water on the Danube River. Proof.
This means stronger heat waves, intense droughts, heavier rainfall, and greater risk of flooding and wildfires.
Most of our cities were built around the climatic conditions of the past. Homes, roads, power grids, work schedules, and sports facilities were all designed according to certain temperature standards. Today, however, these norms are increasingly failing to reflect reality. The experience of many countries that have endured extreme heat demonstrates just how seriously it can affect everyday life. At temperatures of 40 degrees and above, air conditioning ceases to be merely a matter of comfort and becomes part of the safety system.
2026 so far has been...
The speed of climate change is of particular concern. It is no longer being observed only on the scale of several decades. These time spans are shrinking rapidly. Within just a few days, previous temperature records are replaced by new ones. The number of extremely hot days and nights is increasing, and conditions that were considered exceptional only recently are now recurring more and more often. This is one of the dangers. People can quickly get used to almost anything, even to things they should not get used to. However, another temperature record is not a reason for fear, but a signal to reconsider safety measures and previous ideas of what is normal.
That the consequences of climate
But adaptation is necessary not only at the level of the state or the city. Each of us should know which of our loved ones are especially vulnerable to heat, which signs of overheating must not be ignored, when it is better to avoid physical exertion, and where to find a cool, safe place. The solution does not lie in any single large-scale technology. It consists of a whole range of specific measures, creating cooled public spaces, changing work schedules, shading streets, using materials in urban infrastructure that absorb less heat, protecting power grids, ensuring affordable home cooling, and helping people who are unable to seek assistance on their own. These measures are necessary not only to ensure comfort, but above all to protect people's health and lives during extreme heat.
The morning of August 10th began for Colombia with one of the strongest earthquakes in its history. At 7:34 a.m. local time, a magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck the western part of the country, in the area of the municipality of San José del Palmar in the Chocó department. The focus was located at a depth of approximately 64 miles. According to the Director General of the Colombian Geological Service, by magnitude this earthquake became the third strongest ever recorded in the country. Despite the considerable depth of the focus, the shaking was felt across almost all of Colombia. The Geological Service received more than 20,000 reports from over 1,200 communities. Cali, Pereira, Manizales, Quibdó, and a number of smaller municipalities were seriously affected.
Esto era un colegio, la fachada. What the fuck?
In the first minutes after the earthquake, the streets filled with people leaving their homes, offices, and shopping centers. In some hospitals, patients were urgently evacuated from the buildings. In places where structures failed, survival sometimes depended on a matter of minutes. Some people were found in intact sections of collapsed buildings, while others were pulled from beneath the rubble by neighbors even before emergency services arrived. Firefighters, the Red Cross, civil defense teams, and search and rescue dog units quickly joined the search operation. Heavy machinery was deployed to clear the largest piles of debris.
un edificio de 4 pisos, la notaría. Hay escombro, hay gente atrapada, todo el mundo está intentando rescatar.
But as more information came in, it became clear that the destruction was not localized. The earthquake affected 15 of the country's 32 departments. More than 81,500 homes were damaged, and around 14,500 were completely destroyed. Tens of thousands of families are now effectively without a place to live. Along with residential buildings, churches, historic sites, municipal facilities, restaurants, and small businesses were also damaged. The earthquake affected virtually every part of the infrastructure. Damage was recorded at 241 medical facilities. More than 2,600 educational facilities were affected, as well as over 3,600 community centers. Nearly 300 roads, 44 road bridges, and 5 airports were damaged. The situation became especially severe in the Chocó department, one of the poorest regions of Colombia. Many residents whose homes were destroyed lost nearly all of their belongings and were left with only what they were wearing at the moment the earthquake struck. The scale of the recovery ahead is enormous. On August 18th, the country's president said that preliminary economic losses were estimated at approximately $9.6 billion.
En Pereira, una de las ciudades más golpeadas por el sismo, las labores de búsqueda no se detienen desde el primer minuto y tampoco la solidaridad de miles de ciudadanos.
According to official data as of August 15th, 294 people were killed, nearly 4,000 were injured, and another 320 were still listed as missing.
Molino rojo sobre la autopista.
Bueno, parecer hay unas personas debajo están tratando de buscar.
At the same time, the search operations continued to bring good news as well. 353 people were found beneath the rubble and rescued alive. For hundreds of families, these rescues became the most important outcome of the first days after the disaster. Natural disasters like this remind us once again how important it is to be prepared for such a sudden emergency and to know how to act. Having this knowledge and a clear plan of action in mind can help you avoid panic and, in a critical situation, may save your own life or the life of someone near you. Remember that human life is the highest value.
Mi hija, en tus manos.